This is going to be a tutorial on how to use water-based ink. It's also going to be a tutorial on how to draw a portrait. The ink is going to always bleed where you put the water, so whichever side you want the ink to bleed on, that's the side you put the water. It's a coffee, it's going to bleed into your coffee's colour, but it's also going to give you a sort of bluey tinge, which is quite nice. Now the experts will tell you that you need to do like an egg shape for the outside of their head and then sort of divide it up into proportions. There's nothing more difficult than doing it that way around. So what I always start with is an eye. And I do the eye as perfectly as I possibly can, very carefully. And what that does is it gives me an indication as to where the nose is going to go. Once I know where the nose is, then I can accurately put the second eye. Incidentally, whether you're doing a portrait like I'm doing now from my head, or you're doing it from a picture or a live sitting with somebody sitting in front of you, the technique remains the same. You start with an eye and work out. Once you've got your eyes in place, it's really simple to know where your nose is going to go. So you can now start working on putting the nose in the right place. Okay, the nose is all sorted, and that means that you know exactly where the mouth is going to go. There's the top lip. Top lip is always going to be darker than the lower lip, because it has shadow on it. Now you've got a full face in place before you start shading in to create the hair. And it's the hair that makes the egg shape the experts were telling you about. You'll notice they've put no markings for the outside of the face yet. You don't really have to worry too much about your markings for the hair, because you're going to go over those with water anyway. And you want to keep a like sketched feel to your drawing anyway. Once you've got nice scribbles going on in the hair, you can then start thinking about introducing your water. Just paint straight over your markings and allow the water to run where it may run. It's going to produce beautiful markings for your image overall. You can also use your paintbrush to pick up some of the ink from the hair area. While it's still on your brush, you can use it for your shading. I want to make the light come from the right hand side of this girl's face, her right. And so I'm going to make the left hand side of her face a little bit darker, and you'll see that a little bit later when I use the coffee. Now the fun part, adding the coffee straight from my cup. You don't see the color of the coffee so well from this angle, but you'll see it a little bit later. And what I want to do is, as I said earlier, I want to strengthen the markings on the left-hand side of her face so that I can put shading there. And leave the right-hand side pretty much unscathed. You can put some fine detail in with the coffee as well. On this occasion, I want to keep my scribblings. I want to keep the thing looking fresh. I don't want to make it look too overworked. So I've left a lot of that scribble in the image. Once it's all dry, you can come back in with your pen and strengthen any of the marks that have lost their way a little in the water bathing process.